What really happened between Luka Magnotta and psychopathic internet stalker David Damatoe? So many questions, but few answers, until now. Luka Magnotta was Toronto's top expensive male escort throughout the 2000 era. Luka entertained a lot of very wealthy and prominent people. David Damatoe was the son of very wealthy parents who inherited their fortune. David was on a business trip to Toronto and made contact with Luka, trying to recruit Luka to help him find boys for his tickling videos. Luka recruited a lot of young men for David's tickle fetish videos. Luka's first visit with David was not sexual, it was business. Luka had countless clients, friends, and contacts. David Damatoe paid Luka a lot of money. Luka was helping David produce amateur videos featuring tickle fetishes between young men. Luka never personally enjoyed appearing in these videos, so he brought the young men to hotels and filmed the sessions for David. Luka needed to leave Toronto because of the threats from the mafia, so he relocated to New York City. Luka was provided his own condominium by his wealthy clients. David was relentlessly stalking Luka, using multiple fake internet accounts to try and gain Luka's services. Luka wanted a new start and ignored David, which infuriated Damato. Terry DeSisto and Jane O'Brien, two David Damatoe's aliases, began bad-mouthing Luka online and impersonating Luka. Magnotta agreed to see Damatoe as a client in New York, and David in return paid Luka enormous amounts of money. The harassment temporarily stopped. Luka and David went on a few vacations together and produced many fetish videos for David's private collection. Luka was being brutally abused in New York City by a vicious man named Manny Lopez. Manny was involving Luka in dark web activity against his will. Manny was also producing animal cruelty films. Luka wanted nothing to do with any of this dark stuff, and so David Damatoe suggested Luka speak with Romeo Salta, a New York City attorney. David was an attorney, so he had a lot of legal experiences and helped Luka with Manny Lopez. We will return to the story shortly, but as some of you may know, a New Zealand film director named David Farrier did a film called Tickled in 2016. Firstly, let me say, David Farrier is a complete attention seeker, liar, and stalker, in my opinion. I've checked up on all of this about this man, and he will do anything to make a quick dollar, including producing slanderous and defamatory fake news documentaries. The majority of the content in his film is unprovable and speculation. Farrier stalked, harassed, and slandered Damatoe, in my opinion. Okay, so returning to our story. Luka Magnotta was very successful in New York City despite having to deal with the physical abuse Manny Lopez has put him through. David Damatoe tried to reason with Manny Lopez on a different occasion and even threatened legal action. Luka continued making fetish movies for Damatoe and encountered another escort client named John Bitterolf. Luka was spending a lot of time with Bitterolf and David Damatoe, and David Damatoe just became increasingly jealous of the time that Magnotta spent with Bitterolf. Damatoe began impersonating Luka Magnotta on the internet and interfering with Luka's career. Damatoe even had people surveilling Luka. John Bitterolf was a frequent client of Magnotta's and needed Luka's help introducing him to female escorts. Luka knew and worked with many female sex trade workers, and Bitterolf paid Luka for the introductions. Eventually, things were becoming darker and darker in New York City for Magnotta because of these three individuals. Luka realized lawyers could no longer help him with what was happening, so he relocated to Miami, Florida, after being brutally raped and assaulted by Manny Lopez. Luka had a lot of information on Damatoe and John Bitterolf, and they knew it, so Luka was a huge target. A lot of high-powered people are consumers of dark web fetish videos, and were buying Manny Lopez's content. They were also involved in Damato's films and Bitteroff's secret sex parties. Luka wanted out of the underground service, and he became really entangled in. People realized he knew too much and began framing Magnotta for multiple things in an attempt to discredit him. Now back to Farrier. After viewing Farrier's film, Tickled, some of Magnotta's friends contacted the director to try and clear Luka and prove Damato framed him and was impersonating him. David and Luka exchanged only 2 letters before Magnotta realized, like everyone else, Farrier is only interested in himself and gaining attention for himself. Farrier was demanding desperately to see all of Luka's private letters Damato sent him. Luka has a lot of respect for people's privacy and wouldn't just hand over Damato's private correspondence, especially to a predatory film director. Farrier turned out to be a huge idiot. Farrier believes he is the ultimate expert in everything Damato. He is not. He has no idea who David knew or didn't know. He was not around Damato 24/7, nor was he attending Damato's private life. Farrier only knew about a small percentage of Damato's tickle fetish life. Damato had many different aliases and many different identities, and multiple lives nobody knew about. Another question: why would Luka show up in any of Damato's phone records, considering Luka had never registered anything in his own name? Not everyone keeps detailed records of their involvement with Luka Magnotta. If David Damato did have records of Magnotta, he obviously destroyed them. Farrier is not the know-it-all expert he betrays himself to be. He has been sued multiple times for his false rebranding of the facts. Everything is told from his perspective in the film Tickled documentary. It's fake news. Luka Magnotta realized Farrier was not interested in the truth or the facts and ignored Farrier's letters. Luka wants nothing to do with such a nefarious, morally bankrupt individual. David Farrier was contacted by 2 producers of the Netflix documentary being done about Magnotta, Felicity Morris and Mark Lewis. Obviously, the Netflix documentary was complete fake news and didn't touch on Magnotta's life story at all. It only featured some irrelevant animal activists, distorted vision. But the producers asked Farrier about Magnotta's involvement with Damato. David Farrier responded he didn't know, because it's correct. He doesn't know. When Luka refused to continue corresponding, Farrier became enraged and began slandering Luka, just like he did with Damato. David Farrier is not the expert on Damato that he claims to be. Netflix did not cover the majority of Luka's life as an international male escort. And the fact remains, David Damato was involved heavily with Luka. Let's examine the striking and compelling evidence. Look at all the threatening letters Damato sent in the mail. Similar letters were alleged to have been sent by Magnotta. It's clear David wrote them. All the same style. David and Luka lived in the same city, in the same neighborhood, 5 minutes apart. They shared the exact same lawyer, Romeo Salta. Damato recommended Magnotta to Salta. They were involved in the same fetish video scene. Many of Luka's friends confirmed they knew Damato and Luka were associates, and Luka was receiving a lot of mail from Damato. So as you can see, Luka was definitely working for David Damato in New York City. Many of the young men in the tickle fetish videos remember meeting Luka Magnotta and can verify this. David Farrier has no idea about anything involving Magnotta and Damato because he wasn't there. Luka's only motivation in speaking with Farrier briefly was to obtain evidence for a lawsuit. The Netflix fake news film is completely irrelevant, and it was not a factor in the equation. Farrier is now trying to get subscribers to his fake news blog that he published some of Luka's letters. What kind of a man publishes someone's private letters and now charges hundreds of dollars for people to subscribe? Don't believe a thing Farrier says. Magnotta had almost no contact with this nefarious director, except for 2 short letters. Luka quickly realized Farrier was only interested in money and not in the facts. So in the ending of the story, another thing people should realize is John Bitteroff, Manny Lopez, and David Damatoe were huge facts in framing Luka Magnotta, each of them desperate to keep Luka quiet. Manny Lopez didn't want Luka to speak about the dark web videos. John Bitteroff didn't want Luka speaking about the female escorts. And David Damatoe definitely didn't want Luka talking about all the tickle fetish video content. Not to mention all of Luka's high-powered male escort clients. A lot of people have invested interest in keeping Luka Magnotta silent. Luka was not alone in Montreal when those events happened in May 2012. It's clear other people were deeply involved in all of the dark web videos and framing Luka. So if David Damatoe unfortunately died, I hope the story brought to light some of his involvement and some of the horrible things he put Luka through. So much of Luka Magnotta's life is unknown. People only know a very small percentage. Luka's life with David lasted years, and so much is undocumented and not covered. Finally, the truth is surfacing, and people can come to their own conclusions. This predatory film director and producers are spreading all fake news. There's almost more to the Luka Magnotta and David Damatoe story that will eventually come out. So I hope this has opened people's eyes to the deeper parts of these men's stories.